guys, welcome to In the Swim. I'm off to Ferry Meadows for another PDAA Ringers qualifier. I was there last weekend. I didn't film it, but it was my last chance saloon on Feeder Masters, and yeah, I didn't do very well. I drew a really good peg actually, peg 7. I was really pleased with that. I'd have taken that any day. Unfortunately, the bream weren't on that side of the lake, they were on the other side. That was on Overton. There wasn't many fish caught at all on Gunwave. That fished really hard. In fact, the whole venue fished really hard. Well done to Big Jeff Ringer. He won the match and qualified. Then I think it was Gareth Lambert, so well done Gareth, and then Wayne Bartholomew. So yeah, so well done for the 3 of those for qualifying. Yeah, I didn't really get much of a chance to speak to Jeff, but I think from what I heard, he'd maybe had 1 or 2 bream sort of like during the day, and then I think in the last sort of hour or so they sort of rocked up, and he ended up with 9 bream for £40. So yeah, well done, really good. I ended up with 1 bream and some bits and bobs. I don't know, it wasn't a great weight. I can't remember what it was I weighed in now, but yeah, it wasn't even a big bream. I think it was only a few pounds. So, but there we are. That's it. That's my Feeder Masters over and done with. I decided not to film it, so I couldn't blame the curse of the camera if I had a bad match, and I did have a bad match, so I can't blame the camera. It's just one of those things. It's fishing very hard at the moment. It's kind of changed. Ferry Meadows was fishing really well after the fish had spawned, and you could kind of fish it really positively, and you know, you could almost guarantee you'd get a visit from the fish. And once then bream moved in, you kind of just had to try and keep them there. But now, you know, they seem to have sort of dispersed, and they're in much smaller shoals. They're not feeding aggressively, and if you're not around where the fish are, you just don't seem to be getting any. Yeah, so today I'm over there for another qualifier, as I've said. I'm going to be fishing it different today to what I have been fishing it. I'm not going to be fishing it quite so positive. I'm going to be taking more of a negative approach to see if I can kind of just get the swim, or build the swim gradually. So I might be able to nick a few during the day, and then a little bit later on in the match, hopefully, you know, the fish will move in. That's going to be my approach today. Don't know if it's going to work, we'll soon find out. But yeah, I shall walk you through it once I'm fishing on kind of how I'm going to be doing it. Yeah, on to other things. I'm overwhelmed by the response I've had for doing my YouTube videos, and I really do thank everybody for watching them, coming out to see me fish, messaging me with lots of comments and advice, and I'm going to continue doing them for as long as people obviously you know, respond in a positive way. And I enjoy doing the videos, and you know, quite clearly people are enjoying watching them. One thing I would like to say to all the people that are watching them is, if they can try and subscribe, it would really help me continue doing the videos, and obviously help me put more content on there. It will help me improve the software I use, which improves the time it takes to do the editing, because that's a time consuming bit. Like most of you out there, I work full time, apart from you lucky people obviously that are retired. So yeah, I find it difficult sometimes to get the time to do the editing, yeah, I want to continue obviously doing the videos. So yeah, if you can find a way of subscribing, I really would appreciate it. I've had thousands of views now, which has been, like I say, totally overwhelming, and yeah, really have been impressed obviously by the amount of people that watch the videos and the great comments that I've had. Even Steve Ringer the other day was saying how he was looking forward to seeing my video for when I caught all my bream, but I didn't video that one. So he's obviously out there looking at my videos, and yeah, you can't get a better endorsement than that if Steve Ringer's watching your videos. So once again, thanks ever so much for everybody watching them, and I hope you continue to enjoy them, but please try and hit subscribe if you can. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing a Q&A video as well, because I've had lots of people asking questions, and so I can try and sort of do some questions and answers. I was going to actually do it this weekend at home. Yesterday I was going to do it in the garden, but the wind was quite horrendous. 40-50 mile an hour winds all day. You wouldn't have been out here a thing, I was saying, so I decided to postpone that, and I shall try and do it next weekend if I can, or if I get a chance during the week, but I very much doubt it. But yeah, to give you a bit of an example, there was a chap that was messaging me a couple of weeks ago, a guy called Adam Lowbridge. I apologise for getting your name wrong, Adam, I think that was your name. And was it just inquiring about Ferry Meadows, how to fish it, and he'd been watching my videos and was just after advice. So I gave him as much advice as I can, and there was a few messages going backwards and forwards. He wanted to know how you could get involved in the matches and so on and so forth. I gave him some details. Next thing I know, he's messaging me to say, hey, I'm going to be fishing, I've managed to get a ticket for the match. So he fished the last qualifier, the last PDAA and Ringers qualifier, and he won, which was absolutely fantastic. I was made up to find out that he'd won. He come and shook my hand and said, look, I've done everything you said to do, and you know, he drew a really good peg. Funnily enough, it's a peg I've never drawn. I've never drawn 85, I've never drawn 86, and I think he managed to get on one of those. Can't remember if it was 85 or 86. And yeah, he managed to it fished really hard again, as it has been just recently, but he managed to get a few pulls, get a few bream and some bits and bobs, and he won the match. So well done, Adam, and you know, it really made me up, really pleased that you know, you put some of the stuff that obviously I videoed and information I gave you to practice, and it worked. So like I say, if you've got the fish in front of you, then you've got a good chance of catching them. So right, I'm going to sign off now, and I shall see you once I'm at the venue. And yeah, I'm going to try and video some of the match today. It's going to be windy again today, so I apologise for the sound quality, but I'll try and do my best. I don't know if I'm going to have the tripod, sort of big tripod behind me, or if it's really windy I'll have to put a little one underneath my side tray, sort of cover, and video it from there. You can't see as much, but at least you'll be able to hear what I'm saying. So I shall see you all soon. As you can see, I'm at Ferry Meadows now. Yeah, probably hear the wind blowing. Obviously I apologise if the sound is not particularly great, but yeah, I don't know if you can see the venue behind me there, but yeah, it's got a nice ripple on it, so it's perfect really for bream fishing. I've just had a little look at the water and it's gin clear, so that's going to make it quite difficult, because I think it's going to be fairly sunny today. We're going to get a bit of cloud, possibly even get a little bit of rain towards the end of the match, but I think for the majority of the day it's going to be fairly bright. So with the, you know, the gin clear water, that's going to make it quite difficult. So I'll sort of bring it back to what I said earlier on the drive up here. I'm going to be fishing it slightly different. I've been fishing really positive up until now, so putting a lot of bait out there. So you know, so not just, you know, in my ground bait, I've been feeding lots of pellets, lots of chopped worm, and so I've been giving them, you know, quite a lot to feed on, as well as the ground bait. I'm going to change the ground bait mix up today, and it's going to be a much finer mix. There's going to be no pellet in it, and I'm not going to feed any worm at all until later on in the match. I'm just going to be going caster and dead red, maybe the odd bit of corn, but just the odd bit of corn, and just going to then start introducing a little bit of worm towards maybe the last sort of 2-3 hours of the match, and just to sort of see if I have a bit of a reaction with that. And obviously if I do, then I'll start feeding more. If I don't, then I'll back off with it. One of the main reasons for that was the last 2 times I fished it, especially last weekend when I fished Feeder Masters, because there's a lot of small fish now moved in, because the water's gone clearer. That might not be such a major problem today, but last weekend was absolutely plagued with small fish. And when I mean small fish, I'm talking, you know, just little tiny little skimmers, tiny little roach. and it was very. I just couldn't get away from them. Didn't matter what I put on my hook. I even put an 8mm pellet on a on a method feeder, and I still caught a little skimmer about that big, with a size 10 hook. So they were just having everything, and in the end I put double corn on a hair rig, and that's what I ended up getting my bream on. But that was the only proper pull I had all day. I did lose a smaller one, you know, probably a couple of pounds or something a bit earlier on in the day. A big pike come along and it took it, and just bit straight through my hook length. But yeah, just absolutely played out small fish. So what I want to try and do is not kill the swim to start off with. So just gradually sort of introduced, you know, sort of more and more feed as the match goes on, and try and build it, rather than just because what's been happening up until fairly recently is that you would get a visit from the bream at some point during the day, or at least you hope you would. So my approach was then to put plenty of bait out there, so when they get on it they stay there, and then keep introducing more feed to try and keep them there, because a lot of people were getting visits but they're catching 1 or 2 fish and then that was it, whereas, you know, I wanted to keep them there once they sort of did arrive. Whereas now I think the fish have all split up. They're not in big shoals like they were. There will be shoal, you know, in smaller shoals, but I think, you know, you're just going to get small visits. So if you overfeed it, you may only have, you know, say 20 fish come in to feed. If you overfeed it, boof, they can have all your feed and they're off. You know, you're never going to get a bite. So it's just going to be, you know, a lot more of a negative approach today, just to see how that goes. May or may not work, but don't know. We've got to try it. But that's, I think, you know, the lake's changing. It's going to start getting harder now until we start getting more rain. Once we get a lot of rain, consistent rain, then, you know, we may start getting you know, the fish really shoaling up and really starting to feed. But at the minute we're not getting that. So that's going to be my approach today. And we'll see how we get on. Right, I shall film a bit of the draw, see what peg I get, and then I shall see you in the swim.
Short walk at the moment. I think you catch much anyway. Never know. Yeah, it's a robot. 10 till 4.
35.
35. High bank.
Yeah, I'll have that. Right, peg 35. It's on the high bank. Yeah, some deep water in front of there. Fished that last year for one of my qualifiers last year, and I actually done really well off of that peg. Managed to catch all my fish quite close in. No one else really caught around me. It was only the very end peg that unfortunately done me by one bream. But yeah, so I quite fancy the high bank today, the way the wind's blowing. So I shall see you once I'm over there and have a look at my peg. Right, here we are. Luckily the high bank ain't a long walk, so yeah, got here pretty quick. So let's see that. It's peg 35. That's what I'm looking at today. Got some trees there, so I might have to get my platform out a little bit, try and avoid them. I'll just position my box in the right place anyway, make sure I don't catch the trees on me casting. Like I say, I fished here before last year, and it's quite deep, close in, only at about sort of 20 metres. So I will be fishing a short line today, because that's where I caught all my fish last time, and no one else fished that short line until later on, and I'd already sort of got sort of 4 bream by then. In fact, I had Steve Ringer just to me right, but he was 2 pegs to me right, so I had a bit of space. There was no one directly to me right, and he sort of he come and stood behind me for about 20 minutes to sort of watch what I was doing in the end. And he went back and he managed to get one, but I managed to keep the fish there. So and it was a bit like this, the wind was blowing in, so hopefully, a bit of luck, there'll be a few fish here. But they've got most of the high bank in today, so you know, probably ain't going to be the only one. And the in-form pegs 44 and 45 have both been drawn today, so yeah, we'll give it a go. So anyway, I'm going to all my gear still on my trolley, as you can see, so I'm going to yeah, I shall get tackled up, and then once I'm sort of out there, I'll come back to you. Well, that's it, I'm all set up. 15 minutes to go. That's let me see that all right. It's me for the day. Yeah, there's a lot of cloud cover come over actually, so which is quite good. And yeah, we had a few spits of rain, so it's you know, considering the water's really clear, we need a bit of cloud cover. But as you can see, it's really chopping up here, so I'm kind of at the end of the lake where I would want to be. So fun enough, I'm on an M peg as well. There's no one else to my right, so peg 35 is the last peg. So you've always got a favour in M peg. So yeah, who knows? Let's just hope there's a few fish around. So I shall see you once I've started fishing. All right.
Yeah, all right, mate.
So I'm just going through the baiting up process now. Like I said, I'm going to be fishing it a little bit differently this time. A bit more negative. Change the ground bait mix. And be predominantly casters and dead reds in there, but not massive amounts. I'm not chucking it a really long way. I've only gone out 45 metres, mainly because I don't really see, but it's really windy, and I've had a good fun out there, and I'm kind of like, there's a little bit of a plateau out there, so I'm hoping that it might hold a few fish. So, normally, you know, I'll be putting a hell of a lot of these feeders out there, but today I'm not going to feed it up quite so much. You know, it's a fair bit of depth on this peg, so I'm fishing 2 lines. This first line, like I say, is about 45 metres, and the short line's only about 20. A little bit deeper, believe it or not, on the 20 metres than it is out there. So kind of hoping that that's where I'm going to catch my fish, on the 20 metre line. So that's the way I'm going to feed it. I'm not going to be putting quite so much feed out on the 20 metre line to start off with, but I'll be fishing my long line first, and then yeah, we'll see how we get on, see what occurs on the long line, and after a couple of hours, if I don't have much joy, then I'll go on the short line. Anyway, I'm going to carry on baiting up, and then once I've done that, I shall come back to you. So my baiting up's done. Only took 15 minutes this time. Probably not quite even that really, but yeah, I'll put about. Alright, I put 4 small feeder falls on my short line, and I've put 8 big guru bait up feeders on my long line, and no pellet in there at all this time. All I'm feeding is caster and get red at the moment, and we'll see how we get on. And, as the session progresses, I will start introducing some chop worm. I'm probably not going to do that until a couple of hours in, but obviously we'll see how we go. If it's absolutely dead in both long line and short line, then maybe I might put some chop worm just in a little window feeder and see how we get on with that. But obviously if there's a few fish around a bit later on, then I might start actually using a normal conventional feeder and put some chop worm in there. Anyway, chop worm's not going in for the moment, and we'll see how we go on, and we'll see if we can just sort of build the peg gradually as the day goes on. Like I say, I'm an M peg, so there's always a bit of a chance on an M peg, and the wind is blowing down this way, so no excuses today. So as you can see, I've just caught a little skimmer on my first cast. I just slung a method feeder out there, funnily enough, while I was just sorting stuff out, and as you can see, nice little skimmer. So it's a good sign. We'll go out there again and see if there's a few more. waves are getting bigger. Hope it blows all the fish down this way. Well, we're around here. And you know, I had that one sort of small skimmer. You know, I had another little pull on the method feeder, but nothing there. So anyway, I went out on a normal feeder, and all I've been getting is little skimmers about that big. Probably don't even weigh an ounce. They're just having everything, worms, maggots. I've even put a bit of corn on and they took that as well. So yeah, that's a bit of the problem I had last weekend over on Peg 7 on Overton. So I just just couldn't get away from them. I was trying to sort of like, you know, concentrate for the bigger fish. So anyway, I've now gone back out on a method feeder and with a lump of corn on. We'll see how that goes, see if that can produce a slightly better fish, better sized fish. But we'll just have to wait and see. I've not gone on a short line yet, so I should give that a little bit longer before I have a look on that. So, I haven't really seen anybody bagging up at the moment opposite me. Don't really know what's going on to my left, although I did hear the guy talking to the chap next door to him saying they've not had anything yet. So, but, yeah. Anyway, we'll see how we get on. It's gone round again. It's not very big, but it's bigger than these tiny little things. Keep catching these rather than the tiny one, skimmers, and that's fine. Like I say, that was on the method, just a bit of corn. So we'll go out there again, see how we get on. You can see this, I caught another bream. I say another bream, I caught my first proper bream. That one about £3. Didn't film playing it in because I had the camera down at the time when I sit look round, but yeah, I'll show you it. Okay. And a method feeder again. Hopefully, that's going to be the way to go to catch a few bigger fish. Get out there and go get some more. Well, that's 2.5 hours in, and I've just gone out on my short line. And first cast, it's gone round, and I've had a small hybrid, probably about £1/2. Didn't have any more on the method feeder, so I thought I'd give me short line a go. I've gone back out there again now. Once again, just on a piece of corn. Can't see any point putting anything else on at the moment because it's just getting hammered by the small fish. So it's really just hoping there's a few bigger ones out there that take a piece of corn. So yes, we'll just have to see how we go, and I'll stick out on this for a little while longer, see if there's any bigger ones about. If there isn't, then I'll just keep alternating between both my lines, and hopefully it'll go around every now and then. Small hybrid on the short line. appear to be any larger bream out there at the moment. So again, I'm just having to put a piece of corn on. Anything else just keeps getting battered by these smaller fish. So I'm just hair rigging a piece of corn at the minute. I'll just keep going. And, like I say, I'm going to alternate between this and the long line on a method feeder. That's about all I can do at the moment until these little ones decide to bugger off. Every time I put a piece of worm on or maggot or anything, it just gets absolutely annihilated by them before it's even hit the bottom. No, I'll keep going. Here we're going to piece of corn. Well, there's 2 hours to go, just over 2 hours and 5 minutes to go. I haven't had any more fish, so I'm back out on the method feeder now on my long line. I've had to put the camera underneath me bait tray because it is about to hammer it down. It's absolutely black over there. I'll get the camera up. You might be able to see in the sky over there. It's absolutely black, so it's about to hammer it down. Hopefully it won't start thundering and lightning. Bit of luck. So yeah, it's been pretty difficult by all accounts. From what I've heard, no one's had any bream along here, just small fish. I think there's been a couple of half decent bream caught on the other side. Peg 84 and 85, I think I've had 1 or 2 each. I don't know about the other pegs, and obviously I don't know about the 50s and 60s what they've done, but I think along this bank, on the high bank here, I don't think anyone's had a decent fish yet. So I mean, obviously I've had one about £3 and a few little bits, so but yeah, just have to hope it goes round. But see how we get on. Right, I'm going to cover up the camera and go and get my coat because I'm about to get soaking wet. Right, just gone round. Right. Feels half decent. Don't think it's huge, but it's not one of the little tiddlers. Skim about £1. You can see. Went out on a little orange chocolate wafter ringers. First cast on that, it's gone round, so yeah, we'll go again. Well, I'm not sure how well you can see this or hear me, but it's absolutely hammering it down like I predicted. Right. Yeah, great big waves. All good fun. All I need now is my tip to just keep going round. I don't know how long this is in for, but it certainly looks like it's in for a little while. Well, there's 45 minutes to go. Yeah, if I do anything other than put a chocolate orange wafter out there on a method, anything other than that, on a short line, long line, whatever, maggots, casters, worm, even sweet corn now, it's just getting annihilated by these tiny little things. And 9 times out of 10, I don't hook them anyway. My tips just go mad, and then I bring it in, there's just the bait's just completely ragged. So yeah, it's been a bit of a frustrating day. So I've now just gone back out there on a chocolate orange wafter on the method for the last 3/4 of an hour, and just see if I can get a decent pull, really. I think the guy next to me's been sort of concentrating on the smaller fish, just constantly, you know. I haven't heard of anything decent on this bank coming out. I mean, I've probably got about, I don't know, £5 of fish maybe, if I'm lucky. Yeah, so really I do need another good couple of pulls within this next 3/4 of an hour, and get a couple of decent bream-in if I stand any chance of coming anywhere. I really don't know what's been going on around the rest of the lake, but I don't think it's fished very well. I mean, maybe further down in the 50s and 60s it might have done, but from what I can see on the high bank and what I can see opposite me, I don't think anybody's been bagging up. But I really, you know, so at the moment it's probably only going to be 3 or 4 bream that will win the match from what I can see. Like I say, some of them might have been bagging up further down on the in the 50s and 60s, so we'll have to wait and see. Right, I shall hopefully come back to you later with the fish on. I'll just hold it on the bottom there. Lovely.
That's running, is it? No idea what I'm catching.
Well, that was eventful. Yeah, on my way back now. Just paid for my parking. Soaking wet. Yeah, that was a tough day. Yeah, I weighed £7 1 ounce in the end. So yeah, I just stuck it out on the method feeder with a wafter on, hoping it was going to go round. It went round a couple of times. Had a bream about, as you saw, about £4 it went, and then I had another one, probably a couple of pound, and then about £1, just over £1 worth of bits. So yeah, tough day. I wasn't going to tiddle a bash, as I've already qualified. I thought, well, you never know, it's worth just sticking out there for the bream. But Paul Rayner's won it with £17. He was out on the whip just catching small fish all day and got £17, so well done, Paul. Good angling. Chap next to me done similar thing, but he was out on the tip but just catching tiddlers, and he ended up with £10. And the guy next to Paul Rayner ended up with £15 just catching small bits. So yeah, obviously it's if you're going obviously for the money and to qualify, that's the way to go. But yeah, didn't really it's not what I wanted to do today. But yeah, good luck to those guys anyway. Yeah, I didn't really learn anything from trying to change my ground bait mix and my feeding method, because it was just absolutely plagued with, you know, these tiny little fish, and everybody was plagued by them. So 90% of the anglers just, you know, in the end just went out fishing corn, or wafters, just trying to keep away from them, but they were still taking that. So I couldn't really tell you anything in regards to the way I fed it, because it just didn't happen. Nothing really, you know, no big bream came in. So just had, like I say, just a couple of, you know, decent pulls on me method feeder, which really got me in my £7. So but there you go, that's fishing for you. That could have done without the soaking wet rain. I've even had to take my glasses off because they're all filthy dirty. So, but yeah, that's it now. Got a break. I think there might only be one more qualifier left, I think. possibly 2, and then it's the final in September, so which I look forward to. Then I'm going to start doing some practicing over at Boddington's. Yeah, going to do the winter pairs there. So with my partner called Mark Leader. So that'll be good. Look forward to that. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Sorry I couldn't video too much of it. The weather was horrendous, so I couldn't really, do my normal sort of like videoing at the end and weighing in and so on and so forth. So I do apologise, but the weather was pretty horrendous. But I hope you've enjoyed it. I appreciate you all watching. Please, as I've said before, if you can hit subscribe, it would really do me a big favour if you want to see more videos like this. And obviously give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. So yeah, once again, this is Alan Andrews in the swim, and hope to see you soon. Cheers, bye bye.